Welcome everyone. This is episode 22 of Audacity, the Velocity OKC show. I'm Nate Fisher. I'm the Director of Communications here at the lovely, we're back inside of the greater Oklahoma City Chamber.
That's right, and I'm Kaylee McDaniel, Senior Marketing Manager. As Nate said, we're back in our original home, so it's good to be inside. It's good to have air conditioning. Selfishly, I'm excited.
No problems there. That's fine. I'm okay with that. I mean, I am an outside sort of man.
That is true.
But yeah, the air conditioning this time of year is that's a good thing.
That's right.
I'm glad to have that modern convenience. So. What we wanted to kind of make this a little bit of a short and sweet podcast. We've got a couple things we want to make sure and let you guys know about. Chief among them, though, is our ongoing Shop Small campaign,
That's
our
right.
Shop Local campaign here for the whole month of July that we have going on with the Chamber.
If you followed any of our social media,
which you should be.
Exactly. If you read anything on velocityokc.com, which you should be. You've probably noticed we're posting a lot of fun things about how you can shop local this month and enjoy our district, so we'll jump into that a little bit later. First, though, I mean, it's been a bit since we have filmed a podcast. We've been on vacation. We've been doing a lot of things, summer-related things. So I wanted to check in. How are you doing? What have you been up to?
Oh, man. It's been a pretty fun but busy summer. You know, I've gotten to do a little bit of traveling and have gotten to go to the lake a couple times and do some surfing and have some fun and that sort of thing. So, yeah, it's actually been a pretty good summer so far. How about you? What have you been up to?
Same. I've been traveling a little bit. Got to go to Santa Fe and Colorado, but more recently took the Heartland Flyer from Oklahoma City to Fort Worth.
Yeah.
Got to spend the weekend in Fort Worth, see a concert at Billy Bob's, stay at the Omni in Fort Worth, which was kind of fun to compare it to the Omni here.
Yeah.
But also just love taking the train down. That was a lot of fun. I know that's something you've done. You were saying before you filmed one time.
I have taken the train one time, yeah, just down to Norman for a football game. That's so right. It was a pretty short ride, but it actually works out really well for those 2:30 games if we ever get one of those again.
I know. Pro tip, if they decide to give us something not in the morning. So.
Yeah, I mean, you could still make it work with a morning game, but then if you want to ride it back, then you're sort of going to be hanging around all day, which, you know, there are worse things to do, but yeah. 2:30 game is perfect for that sort of thing.
You know, it does stop in Norman, it stops in Pauls Valley, Ardmore, and then it has a stop, I think, in Gainesville in Texas before you get to Fort Worth. And, you know, if that's something that interests you, if you're a train person, which there's a lot of train people that are really passionate about it. It's a fun excursion. We really enjoyed it. We were actually inspired. We took a train in Colorado, the Silverton train from Durango to Silverton, and we're like, we could do this much closer to home in Oklahoma City. Let's try it. So can't complain about the leg room.
Right.
There is a beverage car that you can walk to and get a pretty cheap drink. So it's a great way to vacation. Highly recommend it if anyone's looking for a quick getaway for the weekend.
Yeah, that's cool. That's very cool. Yeah, Heartland Flyer, my loan experience on it made me want to do it again. I mean, and I'm sort of a train person. I don't know anybody that's really not a train. I mean, how can you not enjoy riding on a train?
I like it because I don't want to drive. So
right.
It's perfect for me.
Yeah, I mean, that's if you want to beat the traffic on I-35.
That's right.
That's a good way to do it, for sure.
It definitely helps.
So, yeah, you guys should check out the Heartland Flyer. And I know there's been some talk about some possible extensions. And, so we'll kind of see how that goes.
Let's go to Newton, Kansas. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. I want to go north.
Because that would open up a whole lot of other potential routes.
Chicago's really kind of the main hub, it seems like, for Amtrak. And if we get a connection to the north, we will be a lot closer to being able to travel to other points along the way. So hopefully that will happen sometime soon.
That's very cool. Okay, so, and you guys may have seen, and like we mentioned last time, we were able to procure some of the very, very hard to get Sonic seltzers. Sonic is a chamber member made by Coop Ale Works, which is also a chamber member. So we love it when chamber members collaborate on cool stuff like that. That was great. And so we got to try, I think, everything from the citrus pack as well as the ocean water.
We had to beg a coworker for an ocean water. Thank you, Delina, again for sharing with us.
Now, since that episode aired, I was able to get a hold of the tropical pack.
Okay. Do you have any updates on what your favorite might be at this point?
Honestly, there were a couple in that tropical pack that were pretty good, I think. So I don't know. Just in general, I think that maybe the tropical is a little bit more my speed. Okay. I mean, the ocean water, is. I mean, I know everybody loves the cherry limeade, but I mean, the ocean water was a pretty strong second for me when we did our taste test, and there were a couple of other flavors in the tropical pack that may actually be a little bit better just to my palate than the ocean water and probably even the cherry limeade. I'm more of a Will and Wiley cherry limeade man.
Yeah.
So that's just, I don't know why, that's just me, yeah. So again, can't go wrong with any of those, either of those brands though.
And I did hear that they released a few more, so you may be able to find them if you haven't checked them out.
Right, yeah.
So if you like seltzer, it's for you. You should give it a shot.
And then so the other
Speaking
kind
of
of
that,
local, shout out to Marcus in our office for hooking us up with the clubbies, but turns out the group behind these are also chamber members as part of another business, so we feel justified in maybe giving these a little bit of a roll today. So same sort of deal that we did last time.
We're just going to drink in front
try
of
it,
you.
yeah. Well, and I'm going to
this. Ouch.
I did, and I brought down some mugs for our production crew. Josh and Perrin that are here today that can help. So you guys, definitely get in on some of this.
I was checking out their website. Kind of interesting. So, when you're a golfer, which I am not, are you a golfer?
In my younger days.
In your younger days. Yes. So it's a big thing to have a club special at most of the golf courses and country clubs around Oklahoma City. So a set of 4 friends, I think the website said, decided to create a seltzer that kind of married those flavors into a seltzer form, and so the Clubby was born.
Right, and I believe these are actually.
I love a club special.
And these are being
special.
Produced locally as well. I believe, packaged and brewed by Vanessa House down the street, which is another unit talking about shop local. So that's
yummy.
good. So and I don't. We were a little bit pretentious last time with pairing the seltzers with,
that was all
with
Nate.
the different
I just want to
Sonic
go on
items.
the record.
I don't know.
Say that was Nate's idea. I don't have that kind of palate. He's more advanced than I am. This is great.
That is tasty.
It's like a not as sweet as a Sprite, but it does have that lemon lime flavor. I mean, they did a great job of recreating a club special, which I love. The only way this could be better is if there was a little salt on the rim for me, which I always like. So.
Yeah.
Wow.
It does taste. That's really nicely done. Well done, everyone involved. That's good stuff. So you guys please, Perrin, Josh, you guys have at it while this is being filmed. This is going to make for we're going to have lots of really good
steady camera shots here.
Yes, that sort of thing.
Drink a seltzer at 2:30 in the morning.
So speaking of local stuff.
Yeah.
This whole month, this has been a big focus for all of us here in the Marketing Communications Department at the Greater Oklahoma City Chamber this month. It is our Stand Tall, Shop Small for OKC. We're basically what we want to do is make sure that people know a great way to kind of take pride in your city is to shop local and support some of our local businesses.
That's true.
Shops, restaurants, service providers, whatever it may be, just thinking about different ways that you can support local, especially during this month and we're coming out of the pandemic.
That's what I was going to say. When we think about the industries that struggled the most during the pandemic, I think locally owned shops, restaurants, bars, they were among the top, that really had to suspend operations or limit the number of customers. And July is traditionally a bit of a slower month for retail. People are traveling. It's not a big gift-giving time of year. So it's a great time for us to go out and explore new areas of Oklahoma City and support the locally owned shops and restaurants that are there.
Right, absolutely. And so what we've been doing is sort of taking a district-by-district approach, and we've been writing a whole bunch of stories that are going up on velocityokc.com about some of our different districts and some of the different ways that you may be able to help support local businesses by patronizing different spots in those businesses.
Right. So we have everything from Britton District, which I know is a little bit, not a new district by any means. It used to be a town, but something that is a little bit newer that people may not have explored. So we have some information about what you can enjoy there. We have stuff on the outlet shops. We have, I know you did one about Midtown. I'm doing one about Western Avenue District. So lots to choose from. No matter whether you've been to these places or not, you're going to find ways to support it.
Right. So we'll have links to all the articles that have come out so far in the show notes, as well as sort of our main page. And the thing that we'd like you guys to help us with, honestly, is to just try to get the word out. And so we've got a bunch of downloadable social media assets that you can use. And so we'll drop a link to that in the description box and in the show notes if you're listening to this.
Yeah.
And but we would love your help in sort of getting the word out and posting some stuff on your own about just reminding people to shop local. You can use our graphics if you want, but really if you just use the hashtag Shop Small for OKC, we would appreciate it at some point this month. That would be fantastic. So but it actually has been a lot of fun. It's been some work getting all the stories together. But
there's a lot of districts in Oklahoma City.
There are a lot of districts.
I work for the chamber, and I didn't realize how many districts there were. So it's been fun to be introduced to some that I had not been to as much as I should have. So I'd love to hear from you. What have you learned about Midtown that maybe you didn't know, or something that you were able to point out in your article that other people may not know about?
Well, for me, it was really neat because I got to talk to Chris Fleming, who's one of the partners in the Midtown Renaissance group that has been so instrumental in redeveloping that part of town.
And also very involved in the chamber too.
Correct. And so it was neat to kind of hear a little bit about kind of the overall strategy and vision that they've had for the area and sort of why they decided to get involved in the first place. And they are known for being very purposeful and particular in the way that they curate some of their offerings and what they try to do with the district. And so it was nice to hear a little bit of, hear a little bit more about that and some details on the thought process and what they want to do with it. And really, Midtown is a fully fledged mixed-use neighborhood.
I was just going to point that out, that one of my favorite things about Midtown from an outsider's perspective is how it's not just shopping, it's not just restaurants, it's not just housing, it's a little bit of everything, which makes it very walkable, lots of placemaking, very activated almost at all times. So that's fun to see from the outside, and they've done it right, for sure. It's one of the first districts I remember visiting in Oklahoma City before I even lived here, and love seeing how it's grown over the years.
Well, and one of the things that it was cool for me to point out too is that one of the things that led to the growth of the area to begin with was the original streetcar system, because it was connecting some of those neighborhoods to the north to downtown, and so we had some natural sort of infill in the area. And so
now the streetcar is back.
The streetcar is back, so streetcar is a great way to get around Midtown as well. So.
Awesome. Well, like I said, I'm doing an article on the Western Avenue District, which we'll post next week. We'll make sure, and that'll be linked in the original article, so you can find it after the fact. But one of my favorite things about that district is all the antique shopping. So I love searching for old treasures. I collect old books. So going there, hitting a couple of those antique shops is how I've traditionally experienced the district. I love guest room records. Of course, that's kind of on the southern end of the district, working back north. So I'm going to spend some time there this Saturday, kind of see if there's anything new that I haven't experienced and been to, and I can't wait to see what I'll discover and write about.
That's cool. Yeah, and we've got stories on, like you said, anything from Midtown and Bricktown to the Britain District, and we're gonna have some stories on the West 10 District.
Right. So I'm not that familiar with that one at all.
Right. And we're also looking forward to a piece on the Southwest 29th District as well. I'm a little bit jealous that I'm not getting to write that one because it's going to largely consist of food tour. So that's going to be great. So if Laura decides that she can't get to that one, I might have to jump in and volunteer for that one. So that'll be great. But,
beyond just the specific districts, though, what are your kind of favorite ways to shop local? Do you have any tips for anyone that maybe doesn't do it that often that wants to get started?
Yeah, that's a good idea. And one of the things that I was thinking, and we've talked a lot about shopping local kind of over the years on this podcast or the months, but I think, one of the things that I was thinking about was trying to think about ways that you can sort of be purposeful in this. Maybe you're a person that you're shopping at Homeland, which is great because that's shop local right there, chamber members, so we appreciate that. And you're out shopping for coffee, and maybe you're more of a Dunkin' Donuts person, which I would totally understand. Dunkin' Donuts actually makes some pretty good grocery store coffee.
Yeah, they do.
Or Folgers, or whatever the case may be, and that's fine. Homeland also does a great job of stocking a lot of coffees from our local roasters that are around town. So if you haven't given someone like Elemental a try or Prelude, that's a great opportunity for you to just grab a bag and support local and support local again.
That's right. And even if you're shopping at a bigger brand like Whole Foods, they do a pretty good job of including those made in Oklahoma products as well. So you can get it done a couple of different ways. I know you always talk about the great breweries in Oklahoma City. So if you're a Budweiser guy, you can probably find something from an Oklahoma City brewery that would be even better. I like wine, so Struble Winery.
Struble Winery.
Struble in Northwest Oklahoma City is one of my favorites. So I think there's lots of different ways to find what you already enjoy and put a local spin on it. That's a great point.
So shop small. Shop small for OKC. Let's get it done. Let's get the word out.
We have about,
make this happen.
It's the 16th, the day that we're filming this, so another 2.5 weeks maybe to dedicate to shopping small in Oklahoma City. So I hope everyone has a new way that they can, a new shop that they want to go support. Maybe you'll discover a new restaurant, new bar, new coffee shop. That's always fun too. So
for sure.
And we would love to hear, obviously, what you've discovered. So feel free to hit us up on social, like we mentioned, to email us if that's more your style, at networking at okcchamber.com.
Networking at okcchamber.com. Very nice.
I was questioning myself there. That would be a great way to give us feedback on what you've discovered during this month of shopping small for Oklahoma City.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. And then, so the other thing that we kind of wanted to let you guys know about is the Oklahoma River Cruises. They've actually opened up a new landing, so a new place where you can get on and off the boats at Stockyards City. Now, Stockyards City, another one of our local districts. So we're going to have a story about how you can support local in the Stockyards City district as well.
I love Stockyards City district.
City is great.
It's great. It soothes like a part of my agricultural upbringing. So I really enjoy it. Anytime I can walk around and see someone in a cowboy hat and boots, I'm like, oh, I'm home. This is wonderful.
Yeah. Working cattle market. What is the world's largest?
Yes.
They're still working.
Yes.
Cattle market, right? Continuously operating.
There we go.
Right.
It's hard to say after a few sips of this.
And Stockyards City also home to Oklahoma's first real industry that the business leaders of the day recruited.
That's right. Business leaders of the day, meaning the chamber.
Right.
In 1910, they needed an industry to kind of make this fledgling community survive. And so what they chose was packing plants. Yay. Not that, exciting to talk about, but it was a big deal to our community at the time. And that's where it was located. It grew from there. So it's great to have that industry still have, that had such deep roots in our founding, still have a presence in Oklahoma City. It's also a great place to have a steak, to buy some boots, walk around. It has some really cool restaurants and bars popping up there as well.
Yeah. So the River Cruisers is a fun thing to do. The other reason that we wanted to bring up the River Cruisers is that there's going to be a landing that is constructed at the First Americans Museum.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and so if you'd like, you could ride the River Cruiser to and from the First Americans Museum to Stockyards City.
That's really cool.
And,
of course, just Bricktown, right? Does it drop you off in Bricktown too, or is there a connection? I've never been on the River Cruisers.
The Boathouse District.
Okay.
There's a connection there.
Which is a very short walk to Bricktown proper. So.
Right. Absolutely. And it actually goes all the way down to sort of the I-40 Meridian area.
I remember that. That's really cool.
If you'd like to go all the way to the end.
So Perrin, who a staff member who's helping us record right now, she was telling me too that she went to the opening of Stockyard Landing, telling me more about how the River Cruisers you can rent for private parties. Yeah. So if you're looking for a place to have a fun party for Christmas, coming up, the holidays, whatever, that might be a good place to look for it. She said it looked like a really fun time. And this may have been before you joined the chamber, but one of the first chamber picnics that I went on was actually on board the River Cruisers. No way.
Yeah, so they rented out a couple of boats and took us all up and down the river a couple times. So yeah, it was awesome. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, so. It's a great way to see Oklahoma City, and obviously the Oklahoma River was part of our Renaissance, a big part of it. I mean, not having to mow it was one of the goals of the original MAPS program, so it's nice that you can use it as transport from point A to point B.
That's
Very
right.
Cool.
That's right.
I'll have to check it out. That'll have to be on my fall to-do list of ways to explore.
Do it to it. Okay, so is there anything else that we wanted to go over, or is that?
I think that's it. Yeah, this is a short and sweet one, but I hope people got a lot out of it. I hope you are inspired to shop local, since that was the main point of this. I hope you're inspired to pick up a clubby because it's really tasty. So especially if you're hitting the course, the links, golfing, whatever. I don't know. That's not my thing.
Or if you're going to the lake.
If you're going to the lake,
could do worse than a clubby.
It's true. It's been very enjoyable. So cheers to Marcus for letting us borrow 2 of these.
Thanks, Marcus. And and thanks. I just kind of want to give a shout out to everybody on the team, Tammy and from our economic development, our retail recruitment manager, and everyone else and kind of in the marketing communications team that's helping us with all the articles that we're doing and all the work that we're doing on the Shop Small. So Tracy for the graphics and everybody that's doing all the writing for us. It's really been an all hands on deck sort of situation.
And thank you to the districts that are supporting it via social media. I've seen several of them post, which is great. Just getting the word out is important to us. So
absolutely. Yeah. So it's actually been a lot of fun, and we've got a lot of really good content kind of built around this campaign. So if you haven't checked out velocityokc.com for quite a while, this is your chance. Get back in there, read some cool stories about some of the ways that you can support local and here in Oklahoma City. So stand tall, shop small.
If you want to follow us, connect with us in any other way, social media is a great way to do that. We're at OKC Chamber on almost all of our handles. So reach out, follow us, and engage on social media.
Yeah, and if you'd like to email us, our email address is networking@okcchamber.com. And that's probably, that's a good way to get in touch with us too if you like. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, share this thing with your friends, everybody.
Leave a review. If this has touched you, your heart, if you're just like, life has been changed because of our rambling, let us know. I'd like to see that in a review. We'll read it out loud.
We would appreciate it. And we've got some cool things that are sort of in the hopper and that we're planning on doing for the podcast here in the future as we sort of move to the end of the summer and on into fall.
And back to like a more normal setup.
Right, where it's glad to kind of be back inside. Not that being out in the park is not,
beautiful.
It is fun. I'm sure we'll do it again. Yeah,
but a challenge.
Construction noise, the price of progress, I guess. That's,
exactly.
That's continually happening in Kerr Park for some reason.
So stay tuned. Cool. Yeah, please share this with your friends and we'll be back with more content very soon.
Thanks, everybody.
We'll see you later.
Bye.